Learn more about Army careers in science, technology, engineering, and math at goarmy.com. More than 150 soldier possibilities ready and waiting. We're back here at Esports Stadium, Arlington. I'm Corey Dunn. I'm joined here with Jonathan O. And also we have with us as well, we have A-Track, who's joining us directly there from Fort Knox, as we're about to get into our seventh matchup of the day. This is A-Track. This is your second one. We'll get more under your belt throughout these next 6 days. So we've got some good games coming our way here to kind of wrap up the day as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule of where we've been and where we're going. So where we've been is Robert Morris University. They win their very first one, 16-13. Then UConn beating Michigan's Tech University. That was 16-8. Virginia Commonwealth University winning their 16-3. Then Kennesaw versus Purdue, 16-8. And then we look over on the other side. We've got 16-14 in favor of Northeastern. That game was just strange. It was fun to watch, though, but it was strange. Then you've got UCF, which we just watched, against Miami, University of Ohio, 16-5. And the only pattern that has stayed true is that every number one team out of their groups has defeated the number two team out of the other groups. And that's where we're seeing this. And we'll see if that continues to hold true, because our next matchup, we've got Kansas State and St. Clair, and then we'll wrap up the day with Rochester Institute of Technology versus University of Alabama Huntsville. John.
One thing I want to point out about this schedule that we've looked at, the pattern has stayed true, but there's one caveat to that pattern, is all those teams on the first side of that bracket were also the first in their group bracket. The next match we have up is Kansas State. They were not the first seed in their bracket, and they come out as the first place in their bracket. So that might be a little eye to keep out on. And St. Clair, we saw them the very first day. They had to go against a tough opponent in RMU, and I would say they went against a tough opponent in Texas A&M. They were able to take it, but that could be a very interesting match we got coming up next.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and introduce these teams, starting off on Kansas State. This is the team that we had seen throughout, and this, of course, what you mentioned, they actually took the number one seed from UTD, or the first place against UTD, and this is where we can see why. Knack was nutty. That's the term of the day, as with it, watching him with that AWP, and they're probably highlight after highlight, but also Pure Penguins with the assault rifle was also insane. We talked with him for a little bit, too. We learned a lot about his personality. He even drew us a picture. We got an Esports Stadium Arlington picture that we can now hang up on the refrigerator as well. So, again, there's your team. You've got Knack, Devil, Mild, Pure Penguins, and Rob. And so there's their five that are coming out there. I think this team is better than what they actually show, but you can take a look here. Their path where they've got to the point that they're in. They beat UTA 16-6, and then they beat UTD. So they went through the Texas pathway, and they dominated both of those teams. They beat them 16-7 against UTD. Man, I also don't think that UTD wasn't the same team. I thought we had a better UTD today. But what we saw there from that matchup, Kansas State just looked so good.
They did, and the main point to talk about, we saw UTD today. They fell down to RMU. They had ASOS, and he was going mad. I think he had 30, even though they lost, and he was the player who got shut down completely by Pure Penguin. And so that's the guy I'm keeping my eye on. Yep. I know you're keeping your eye on that because he's got the AWP in his hands. But they seem like a very strong team going into this bracket. And if you're St. Clair, you've got a tough match ahead of you. But I think, once again, that's the pattern we've saw. And they've broken the pattern, so maybe St. Clair can try to make this the special bracket of their own.
Yeah, so that's going to be your Kansas State team. But on the flip side, we've got St. Clair College, as they'll be playing against Kansas State. But let's go ahead and take a look. We'll kind of introduce these players and what they have. You can see some just really Con was a lot of fun to watch. As you can see, that blood shark ace, or the scout there coming out. And but Con, I mean, he was the player that we watched. That's why all the highlights are of him. Just tons and tons of action of him throughout that game. And you can see how well they played throughout that series. And we can take a look. Con on the very left. You have Cookie, Zapper, Scherze, and then Thrasher. And I forgot about. I didn't even realize that the picture of Zapper had that jacket like that.
That has to be a new picture. There's no – we would have remembered that, I think, for sure.
Yeah, NAC championship. And so, of course, NAC plays for the other team. So I didn't know that NAC hosts The tournament. I'm just playing. Okay, it was just a
He's
joke.
a dad. He had to get the joke out there.
Thank you. I had to.
You had to. I could see your dad instincts kicking in.
Yeah. It sometimes he gets the best of me. But sometimes I have the best answers, though, too. So that's going to be the matchup that we're going to be looking at. But this is how St. Clair College got there. And this is interesting. Did you see that note right there? Is Texas A&M beat St. Clair College 16-13 in the very beginning of the tournament. Then RMU beat Texas A&M 16-10, pushed them down to face off against St. Clair again. But then we saw a completely different St. Clair College team, and that was a 2-0. But what's the map counts there?
Yeah, it was 16-13 the first game, and then 16-10. So it's funny enough, you see the 16-13 and 16-10 on the top side. That was an exact copycat on the bottom side, only in St. Clair's favor this time. So really the thing to note, as you see that 16-13 on the board for Texas A&M, that was on Mirage. And Com, if you want to go back and look at it, I think he was over 40. He was like 42 kills, and that was the name of the game. You can't get a strategy going if you're playing against someone who gets 42 kills against you. So, I mean, yeah, they've looked much different once they were able to contain that. It's just that Com was the absolute stand-up player for Texas A&M, as we saw. They got knocked out there, and so St. Clair, I think, is a great team.
So that brings us into our next time as we've introduced the teams, but let's see what maps they picked. And so St. Clair College, they come in as the lower seed or the lower team out of this mix. So you've got St. Clair College. They're going to end up banning first since it's a best of one. Vertigo, gone. Train, you're out of here too. And then Nuke. So the three, they stay together and they're out together. Then on the flip side for Kansas State, they go ahead and get rid of Dust 2. Then they get rid of Overpass, which leaves Inferno and Mirage. So we'll see Mirage again. So 8-track. These are the two maps that we saw a lot of. We saw a lot of Overpass, and then we saw a lot of Mirage. What is some of your takeaway? What do you look forward to seeing on a map like Mirage?
I was kind of hoping for Overpass again, not going to lie. No, I'm just kidding. Mirage, I don't know. It's just one of those maps. It's like, for a while there, whenever I was doing competitive, whenever playing like, was it multiplayer? What do you guys call it? Just matchmaking, right? It was a lot of Mirage. So I love Mirage. I see Mirage all the time. Every time I'm casting, all the time. It's always there. And I like the map. Okay, I'm not. Someone's saying my mic is bad in chat. Oh well. I don't know. I've got weird map taste, I guess. I don't know. I like Mirage. I know a lot of people don't like it, but
Corey and I have been talking about it. We actually are pretty fond of Mirage as well, so we're right there with you. I think the only pass we got a little bit tired of is just Overpass, because there were some points where it was comical. It was like, okay, well, here we go. It's Overpass.
Let's do it again.
What else but Overpass? We saw this up to like I think 4 times in one day. Mirage is now the tied with Overpasses. We've seen it 16 times in this tournament alone. Just to let you know, A-Track, where we're at. So we've seen Vertigo 3 times. We've seen Nuke 6 times. We've seen Train 5 times. We've seen Inferno 7 times. And we've seen Dust 2 times. So Dust 2 is literally Dust twice in this tournament. And I think that's one of my favorite maps to watch. Unfortunately, it's just a difficult map to play. And nonetheless, we're going to Mirage, and we saw both of these teams play here. Kansas State, a lot of their clips actually were from that map, and that is where NAC went absolutely nuclear with the AWP.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing how well these guys can play. I mean, NAC was fun to watch, and as you mentioned, Pure Penguins was also a lot of fun to watch. We saw some really good highlight clips in that matchup, and so I still think we're going to hold true. I think that the higher team is going to continue to be able to push forward and keep beating these teams that are coming in from the second part of the groups. I think that's just the trend that we'll continue to see even for the next matchup as well, which is Rochester Institute of Technology versus University of Alabama Huntsville. So we'll see that one coming up. But man, these games, they've still been good to watch. I think tomorrow is going to be awesome. I think we're going to see some really, really difficult fights and games that are going to go the distance. I'm actually a little concerned because I think we might also see a ton of overtimes tomorrow as well because of the level of play from the teams that we're going to be seeing.
Well, from a schedule perspective, I'm sure you're concerned. From a from a competitive and viewer standpoint, as a caster, I am absolutely excited by the fact to see overtime, because we've only seen overtime once, A-Track, and it was an instant 19-15, and what other map was it but Overpass?
Yep. Yeah. No. We've seen our fair share.
So we've literally gone the distance on Overpass.
Yep. Yeah. So we've seen. We basically should have had a bingo board of all the things that could ever happen in Counter-Strike. We've seen everything, though. I mean, or at least what it feels like in our group play. And then, of course, I think the overtime was actually our last match of the entire tournament or the group play, wasn't it?
Yep, that was the last match.
That was the
for
one
UT.
thing that we didn't have was an overtime in our whole mix of all the things you can do in Counter-Strike, and then boom, that's where we ended in group
We
play.
even have one Ninja Defuse, and
We've-
that was on Mirage, and that was actually even to win the map.
Yeah, that Ninja Defuse was also awesome as well. I mean, A-Track, we've seen some things here. And
I bet you've been sitting here for a while, just watching people play. So,
so I want to.
does the mic sound better now?
You
Is
sound
it not
better.
peaking anymore?
Much better.
Okay,
Much
cool.
better, yeah,
Awesome.
We're good. All right. So with that said, you had a really good request, and UCF was able to deliver. What's the next up on the menu?
Like I said, Ninja Defuse. I want to see someone hide in Ninja on Mirage, and I want to see them get away with it. That'd be hilarious.
Well, this was the map we saw previously,
Yeah.
and it was actually pretty
Well-
easy. He just walked up and held it, and we were going, no, and then
What
it
I'd
happened.
love to see a Ninja Defuse that is a no kit, no diffuse kit. That would be silly.
Oh,
Oh wow!
Just
no smoke, no
just
kit.
walks it.
Just
Super
knife.
dry.
Throw the
and it's like a
pistol.
1v4. It has to be.
Yeah, that we see that, then we're not watching the right match.
Hey,
All right.
you say that, but Astralis and G2, remember on Nuke when G2 couldn't find the bomb?
Oh my
And then
God.
it just blows up, and then they lose because of that. That was, I'm pretty sure, wasn't that at the major? That's on that's a T1 level that happened. So Corey, I'm never putting anything out of the question.
At least you're not killing yourself with your own Molotov while trying to defuse.
Oh, that too. That's also pretty bad.
yeah,
Summit.
Yeah. Oh,
Summit.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Oh man.
Oh goodness. Man,
Counter Strike has so much history.
I love it. So good. There's so many things that have happened. And
You know what's funny, actually, with history is we actually had the U.S. Army esports team go against the Sappers in the U.K. So it was U.S. Army versus U.K. Army.
oh my goodness, that's crazy.
They flew all the way out to L.A. in Pomona, and we went, our team versus their team, and we 16-1 them, and then 16-2'd them, I think.
And then flew them right back.
We were-
Protected our land.
Yeah, we went out for dinner, bought them drinks because they were like, they were so sad after that. It was so good. That was awesome. It was a great time.
Oh, so good. Well, all right. So I said we've seen everything in Counter-Strike, and we haven't yet. There's one thing that we've been missing to that criteria. Of course, we talked about we've seen a Windows update, we've seen a Steam update, we've seen custom skin issues, we've had some other issues, and now we're into our next one, where we'll be on a delay for a little bit. Our next one is Faceit servers are now not in sync with CS:GO. So we will now wait for this one as well. So, again, I don't like to feel it's not my thing because I don't believe it's right to you as a viewer for us just to talk about things. So the next time you hear that NVIDIA sounder, you'll know when we're going to be coming back. So coming up here in just a moment, Kansas State versus St. Clair on Mirage, right here from Esports Stadium Arlington. This is the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CS:GO Invitational. And we are back right here at the Esports Stadium Arlington. This is the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CS:GO Invitational. We've went through a Windows update. We've seen issues with the custom server or custom skins. Then we've also been through waiting for teams to actually show up on time. We've also had other situations like this where we had to wait Faceit servers to get caught up with the recent update that came through. And yes, Jono, I am wearing the same clothes that I was wearing in that video as well. This is the only thing I've got because we didn't win the prize pool.
Yep, yeah, because there was a prize pool online. That's right. And
so good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So if for those of you, of course, we are about to get underway here with this matchup. 8-Track, what did you think? What was your response from seeing that video? Was it all in its glory?
It was pretty fantastic, yeah, I got to say. It's pretty great.
So if you want to check out more of that action, that's over at youtube.com/esportslocker. It's one of those things that we do. Of course, all of the production and everything that you see coming from Esports Stadium Arlington actually comes from Esports Locker. We actually produce all of the content that happens. Of course, this live stream that we're currently doing right now, but also a bunch of other esports style related content, whether it's professional and focused or whether it's just comedic and based off of skits and things like that. So check that out. But we are back. Kansas State versus St. Clair College. That's what we're waiting for. They're now currently doing the knife round. But we're going to be on Mirage as we take another look here and kind of quickly catching you back up to speed. Kansas State banned Dust 2, Overpass, and Inferno. St. Clair banned Vertigo, Train, and Nuke, and that brought us here to this map on Mirage. All right, John, update me. Who are the players that we need to be on the lookout for since we've been a while since we actually hopped back in? We're currently an hour and 6 minute delayed, but hey, let's see where we get back on track if we can.
For the side of Kansas State, the team that we absolutely need to be watching, the players we need to absolutely be watching is Knack, that very strong AWP in his hands, and Pure Penguins. We saw how quickly he can shut down a star player, as we're seeing an A execute, and no one's there to greet them except for Pure Penguins. Let's see how smooth his pistol can be in this round. He's able to find a lineup, but Hedwig is able to take him out, and that's going to be the first kill on the map. So Pure Penguins going down, and now we're trying to see them taking the fights as Cookie's getting the bomb planted, and oh my goodness, all I can hear is heads being clicked right now by that USP as Devils charging his way out to the side with his teammate, and there's one more going down, and Mild is looking to even the odds. He's got the kit. Let's see if pros don't fake. He does. He throws out the flashbang. He looks away. It's displacing him, and that's exactly what you need. He's actually throwing a gun down. He needed to reload, and that's going to be Cookie closing out with the 4K.
Oh, man. Man, he tried to wide peek that one, and he just couldn't make it happen. So St. Clair College, sometimes delays like that just make an impact on teams. And so Kansas State, that was just a pistol round, but St. Clair College off to an early start, and they decide to leave the bomb in spawn just to make sure that they don't get naded and lose that bomb off the kickoff. But A-Track, take us away.
Oh, hold on one second. Trying to fix my Discord again.
All right, I'll take it away then. And there you go. Right out of the gates, you've got Con, who's picked up 2 really fast. And now Pure Penguins, who was the last one alive for Kansas State, he's going to get taken out as well. 2-0 now. For those that are just joining us, we are in the playoffs. This is upper round 1H in Kansas State. Look at this, as you can see from the from St. Clair College. What do we see here, John?
Well, I was just pointing out I see 2 zappers. I'm not sure which one is the real one. We might need him to stand up for us as we see Knack with that AWP the first time we're going to see him. We're going to have to see how much impact he's able to make with that. Oh, not able to find the flick there onto mid. Jersey, they're wanting to peek him. They're wanting to get aggressive. They actually want to challenge him right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed for you as well. One of them are real. We'll see. So St. Clair, they started off pretty strong, playing this very smart. Again, they clawed their way through their own loser bracket in their group play. As you can see, St. Clair. But St. Clair hasn't played in a long time either. It's been a very long time since we've seen St. Clair. We saw Kansas State yesterday. And we haven't seen St. Clair College since April 27th. As now they're just getting picked off one by one. And oh my goodness, Kansas State, they've got their rifles in play. And already it's left up to this Zapper. I think this is the correct Zapper actually, because this is his face it count. And so Zapper has made his way into the bomb site. And we'll see as he peeks around the corner, Rob is going to finish the job.
So it looks like I did get the GoTV working for me. It's all in sync and everything.
Awesome. So we'll take a look here. Bomb is going to get diffused here. And just to help out, so A-Track, we got you connected to the GoTV, so you're not having to rely purely on the Discord. So what are some of the things that you had seen, of course, catching in the very tail end of that round?
Well, once I actually got it working, all I saw was Zapper jump out with the AK, and I think he died. That was all I saw.
Yeah, that's that. Well, that's so pretty good play-by-play there, because that's exactly what happened. So now you've got St. Clair. They're going to be pushing up here inside of mid. They were met by Rob from Kansas State. And that smoke is going to help Bloom. That's going to give him coverage where he can also worry about Catwalk. And, but he doesn't worry about Catwalk as Scherze over the top of the smoke. And there's another Bloom. And Devil, your timing, that's that CS timing for you. And pushing around the corner, and Cookie picks it up. So now they're going to start working here towards the B bomb site. And just like that, Cookie gets another one. And St. Clair College. I talked about how I thought like Kansas State was a good a good team to be able to compete against them. And right now, but the two stars that we had talked about during our pregame show, being Knack and Pure Penguins, they're going to go ahead and have to save these weapons as the bomb is just going to go ahead and tick away inside of that B bomb site.
Yeah, but it's better to just take the round and be able to come back with stronger weapons the next one than take the go in there and take a loss and lose your weapons.
Absolutely.
As we can see, the other team's only got 4 Deagles and an AK, so we'll see if they can grab some weapons. Yep, looks like they're looking for them now from the guys that they took out. Getting off the site here.
Yeah, so there's your round. Another one coming in here for St. Clair, and that box must have been bulletproof. As we take another look here, Scherze over the top. And again, these are just fights where all of that was a nice shot, though. All of Kansas State is just not in the right position, and St. Clair taking advantage of it. As we take another look, seeing the smokes come into play, you've got 2 players. Oh, look, they're already out into position, and an adjustment from ConCon.
Yep, we're seeing a mid and A split here. 3 over on A with the bomb. And 2 going mid here as they're getting the pick on Rob. ConCon's going to have to pull back to his team as they're already down to 3 of them. Stick together with the op and the 2 AKs. Going for the A push here. And we do have Penguin sitting in the corner there. Manages to take out Had It. Zapper and ConCon pushing up now. Penguin's going to get some more kills here. He does. Oh, but he gets taken out. But Devil cleans it up for him. There's another one for the for Kansas.
Yeah, so Kansas
2-3.
Yeah, Kansas needs these rounds. And now we can see the AWP coming out for Knack, but we also see one in the hands of Devil. What's your thoughts here?
For me? Oh. I think that they definitely got a strong eco on the CT side right now. St. Clair's definitely struggling a little bit with the AK and 4 Deagles, or sorry, 3 Deagles and a Glock. We'll see what they can pull through here.
All right, now
Looks
you
like
can
they're creeping up on the B.
Yeah, I'll see if they can be able to take this B bomb site with these Deagles. And Cookie again with that AK as they're starting to advance here into the site. They're going to be met with, oh my goodness, Zapper with a really good shot there to start this round. And the bomb has been planted, and Devil has found one. And we can see they're starting to make their way here into the site. And Thrasher is the last one standing. As the Face-It side says it was Zapper, so we'll double check on that.
It says Zapper on my end.
Yeah, so we'll double check to make sure.
Go TV.
We'll make sure that that's correct. So, but there you've got it so far. St. Clair, they're just putting some rounds together. I mean, they're winning the right gunfights, John.
And that's something I was mentioning. St. Clair is a good team. They came out of the group bracket. I think they had some hard matches in front of them. They had to fight against RMU. Or excuse me, they fought against Texas A&M, and on Mirage, they just went up against a player who got 40 kills, in which that kind of just throws a wrench in all of your plans. And now they're going against Kansas State. And we know Kansas State is deadly on this map. As we mentioned, Penguin.
Ooh, Devil with a nice Deagle headshot. From stairs to
Ooh, Penguin's on the
Palace.
huge flank here. He's not able to find him just yet. He's going to get one. That is the ConCon. Scherze is actually getting flanked by Rob and catching them completely off guard. It's a 2v4 and was what and is an eco round. So now it's left to Thrasher as he's pushing on A, and he's going to find so many players in front of him, and is left to Cookie with that AK, and he's also getting flanked. He's absolutely trapped in this position. Knack's just trying to make some noise. He's trying to bait him out. They absolutely know where his position's at. This player, and Rob is the one who's behind him. He's just holding the angle just in case he tries to flank, but we see him from this perspective. Oh my goodness, how does he find that? They double peek him, and he finds both headshots, In the blink of an eye, now all of a sudden it's a 2v4. He's got a decision to make here pretty shortly. He's got the bomb to work with. He only knows one player is on this site.
Lots of time.
And Rob's starting to make his way towards connector. He wants to join his teammate. And it seems like Miles actually fallen off the site. They're going to give him the site, and they're going to try to retake. Oh, that's the shot there from Rob.
Wow.
Finds them through the box, and that's going to be the third on the round. As that got interesting, Cookie made it just ever so much closer.
Yep, T-side's still struggling on money, too. It's not good. They're just in this perpetual deficit right now. All Glocks and a Deagle? 2 Deagles?
Look at that. The auto shotgun coming out in the favor of Mild. We've seen him bust that up before, and we know he's going to go to the B side. Oh, a little bit too far over his neck, but he makes up for it on the second shot, finding Thrasher. Not on the third.
He can't challenge that. Yeah, that's that many opponents right there inside of mid. He can't challenge it. He needs to work a better angle at that point. Once you know, the only thing that's going to happen, you may get one more, but you're absolutely going to get traded. Just because of how many shots are going to be fired upon you there. And so Knack is out of the round. He's currently sitting at 3-6. And Kansas State, we'll see what they can if they can bounce back here. They need I mean, basically Mirage works like a 9-6 standard for CT side.
Oh
and
my goodness.
They are just winning these gunfights like crazy. And so you can see right there the picture of Zapper going, whoops.
Got away with that one, that's for sure. As the shotgun is up close and personal, and that's going to slow Zapper down quite a bit. As actually, Miles is going to get on out of there. He's going to take his $900 and cash it in at the bank. Now Zapper is actually going to continue on forward. A risky move if I was in his position, knowing the shotgun is just moments away, but Miles has repositioned as he's got 28 seconds to try to make his way onto this site. We already saw the Deagle take out one, and he's going to take out two if he wants to win this round. 2 kits in both of the hands for the remaining players on Kansas State. He hears these footsteps, but he's got to go soon. He's got 15 seconds. He's got a decision to make. He's going to be seen. Miles going to pull out the shotgun. He's going to hope for another $900 in his pocket. Zapper's got to get to this site. He's got a plan. He's got a plan. He doesn't have the time. And oh my gosh, he finds the shot, and he's not going to find the time. Yes. He wants to get it, but smartly played here from Devil. Doesn't want to poke out. They're both making footsteps. Zapper is going to try and wrap around, but it's not going to do it. So he's going to walk out of the round not getting the bomb or not getting any money.
Oh, no money.
Other than finding those 2 headshots. And now we're seeing the first timeout coming out for the side of Kansas State. So 8-track, what do you think they're talking through?
Right now, so Kansas State called the timeout, right? Yep.
Correct.
So I think they're, I don't know, maybe talking smack?
Trying to get their hype man warmed up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're just taking a cooler after that one. Come a little bit close there at the end. But they did pull through at the end there. Maybe they're just talking it through, like, hey, let's hold a different angle, or let's not do a shotgun, which as you can see he is. Then honestly, you would have thought that the T side would have held the timeout here, try and talk through what's going on.
Yeah, well, looking at it for Kansas State, the only thing you can think of is that their economy is still broken, and so they're trying to figure out what they wanted to do as a collective, and because they can't lose that many more rounds, and so they need this round. More importantly, they now see that here comes the Deagles. Oh my goodness! As Rob missed all of those shots. And they've made their way into the site, and there you go. Knack has got one, but they completely challenge him there. And St. Clair College is just, they've got their number. As now,
well, I mean, if you get a whole bunch of Deagles in one spot, all of a sudden you have an M4, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, they were rewarded an M4 after winning those fights, and you can see it. They've got 3 players inside of this area, but there's the auto shotty, and all it takes is one. And he tries to get a better angle there, trying to win the gunfight, but Thrasher picking up the next 2. 5-4 in favor of St. Clair. I think the questions of what that timeout was all about is basically mute now.
Yeah, I think that what they were trying to do is recollect themselves as, guys, we almost lost an eco round there. The only reason we didn't lose that last eco round is because he didn't get the bomb down in time. And that time, St. Clair was able to get the bomb down, and then on top of that, win. I would say in my mind they won 2 eco rounds. It's because they got all the guns out of their hands the first time, other than the one M4, and then that last time they just flat out won the round. So St. Clair has all the momentum going in now. As we're seeing Devil on the side, he's going to find one, and that's not going to be enough. It was a nice shot, but His teammates are going to have to get in position now if they're wanting any chance at this, and they don't have any kits. And most importantly, Corey, once again, look at their money.
Yep.
They don't have any money. So at this point, it might actually work in their favor to try to lose this to get that loss bonus money. Other than, oh man, Pure Penguin just finding the first pick. Okay, they're going to go for this round now as he's found another nice shot. The last player on the Zapper, excuse me, there's 2 other players, and Zapper is at 11 health, 47 on the Shirzay, and he's able to close it out. They're trying to push in aggressively, and Shirzay picks them off one by one as he finds 4 for himself. As they close out round number 6, it's 6-4, going into round number 11.
Yeah, situations like that, you always got to check. You always got to check apps. There's always that one guy that's a little bit smarter than you, holding a different angle, and they just didn't check it. And I don't think their communication was off a little bit there too, because after he took out the first guy, the other guys just kept looking where they were looking. They didn't even see him.
Now a full reset on the board for Kansas State. Only pistols coming out. As you can see, they finally made their way back to somewhat of money in the $2,000 in their pocket. So next round will look okay. And at that point, they really need to start getting some rounds to the boards because they are not winning these gunfights. Yes, this is Nico. Actually, Pure Penguin has done some damage. That's the bomb down even. He went on a huge flank and is just able to find so much success. He's found himself an AK.
Yeah, he's going to try to play this one a little bit longer, and he's just not going to get the chance to. Thrasher taking him out of the round, and Devil is out as well. 7-4. I mean, looking at the scoreboard, paying attention to what's happening for Kansas State, you know, we talked about Knack being or at least I did, Knack being a clutch player and being an impact player. But right now, Pure Penguins is one of the only ones. Devil's also up on the board, but Pure Penguins is the only one that we're seeing the same level of play that we saw from them the first time. And St. Clair College just winning a lot of really awesome gunfights. I mean, they're proving themselves that they are meant to be in this 16-team double elimination playoff bracket. So we'll see. You've got they're currently working their way up. They're going to try to be able to molly off towards Van, and Mild does a fadeaway, but now he's going to be challenged here. There's one. Good control. Good control. Little 3-shot burst coming out here by Mild, and Devil holding down on Catwalk as they're making their way into the site. And Mild's going to be there to support his teammate, and that's going to be the round. Just good gunplay coming in for Mild there and holding down those apartments.
Yeah, absolutely, especially switching the angle there at the last second before the last guy peeked there, so he was looking the wrong way. It's good movement.
We'll see.
Well, it's going to be another stack on A, looks like.
Yeah, you've got 5 players right now for St. Clair College setting up here for these smokes. We'll take a glimpse at where these are going. But look at this. You got 2 players playing aggressive inside of Palace. This is going to debunk the play style, and Pure Penguins is right there with his teammate to be able to provide that support. And they are immediately, what was supposed to be a set strategy has been thrown out the window for St. Clair, as now it's down to a 5-on-2, and Shirzay, he's got to try to be able to get this bomb back. Here comes the molly and the smoke. And he pushes through, and he's got a teammate right there as well. But Rob is going to pick up the upper hand there. He gets 3 in the round, and Kansas State changes it up just a little bit, John.
And this is the exact strategy I love to see out of Kansas State. They've adjusted to the play style of St. Clair, and they decided, you know what, we are tired of playing St. Clair's game. They're going to play our game. They got aggressive towards apartments. They pushed them. They fought them, and they were able to get the round off of that. They took that out of the hands of St. Clair, and now we're saying that he's getting aggressive towards mid. Oh, man, that spray is just disgusting.
What a spray.
That is a lot of icons we're seeing at the top of the screen now as Rob's going for the challenge. They know they're mid. This should just be easy picking. It's a pistol round, and Rob, he just wants some more. He sees the bombs down. He wants to pick up some more guns for himself. He's firing off some warning shots, and Cookie's going to say none of that. Behave, young man, as Devil picks him out. As is now the round before the half. 7-7. Momentum has swung in this last bits to Kansas State, but St. Clair's put up a good fight. And here we go. We're on board with Rob again to see that first opening pick, and we're going to see the second one there, and there's the third. So great stuff from him in that round. Now we see in
this has been an interesting back and forth.
Yeah,
it's just been
absolutely.
One side's taking a couple rounds, the other side's coming around and taking another couple rounds right back at them, and as we can see now, 7-7. So obviously we're tied up. Looks like T-Side's gonna be pushing over to A again with the bomb. Penguin there with the op. Oh, misses the shot. Oh, but gets him through the box, through the smoke.
Wow.
T's already on the site, taking it over here. Oh my god, these shots to the smoke from Penguin right now are nutty. Oh, here comes the spray, taking out another one. Zapper down through the smoke.
Where'd he get the AK from?
He picked it up from behind him from somebody.
So good.
Oh, Penguin down. Knack there. Now his team's coming out to back him up. One left, and that is the
Look at
half.
that. He also caused damage to both of those players as well. Wow. Kansas State, as we take another look here. Op shot through the box. And it might as well. Sure, let's go ahead and shoot there. Oh, yep, there's an AK. Cool, let's just go ahead and spray this one as well. Might as well. We're at it, yep. That's just good. If you remember the interview with Pure Penguins yesterday, I mean, of course, he has his game hat on, his Penguin hat. So what do we see in his actual picture in our overlay? That's pretty good representation. He also had a Keep Calm Penguins shirt on as well. As now we see the pistol round coming out, Zapper with the first one, and Thrasher's there as well. And they're just tapping away. And I haven't necessarily heard Kansas State shoot any weapons yet until just now. But of course, it's now down to a one-on-one. And just like that, Pure Penguins. He's got so much time to play with. He does have the bomb. He can basically wait this one out and see what happens. As Concon is starting to question, well, did he go to B? And that's going to be the question that he's going to continue to ask himself over and over again. And maybe he might be able to find this choke point. So he decides he's going to go ahead and set up a campfire. They both have now. Now they got some marshmallows cooking, probably got some hot dogs on the grill, and we'll be waiting this one out with them for a little while and see which one decides to be the first one to move.
All Concon has to do is wait him out. Go for the plant, and you just got to wait out the bomb timer and go for a 1v1 there.
Yeah.
Right now, Penguin's definitely in control of where he wants to fight, but Concon's just waiting.
Yeah, so he played the right position, so he was close enough to be able to hear the bomb getting planted, and then immediately Pure Penguins gets himself back into a position where he has the upper hand, because he did plant the bomb for himself. Now Concon is on the search. He's looking every angle. He sees that the bomb was actually planted into a position where he could get spotted from a ramp. He could be spotted from connector. He can be spotted from mid. He can be spotted from jungle. So there's so many different angles, and then here we go. Pure Penguins is going to take a look, and he needs to go ahead and hide, and he does. Great play here. Bomb's going to continue to tick away. He's done the damage, and Pure Penguin played that so well, as now the score is going to be 9-7. But
absolute patience right there. Oof.
Yeah, fun gameplay. I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen the players basically just wait each other out for a while. I mean, we wasted about 30 seconds in the round before we saw the remainder of that. That was just the pistol round. And so now we'll see what happens here.
This game of chess right now, just the back and forth is super interesting. And that's oh man, that was cool. I like that. I like the playing time. That's what I always tell people to do, but they never listen to me. They always want to go for the kill.
Yeah, there's some players that I actually have talked about on the stream earlier in our groups. You know, sometimes you don't necessarily have to eliminate or have any kills happen in the game to win rounds. And so sometimes it can be a mental chess match. And now we see Devil getting taken out as he tried to hop into the window as Thrasher takes him out. But the bomb has made its way into the B bomb site. And Scherze, oh my goodness, just barely saw any of them there on Catwalk.
Yep, Scherze down to 2 HP here. Penguin coming in with the AK. Managing to take out, is that Mild?
That's Cookie.
Oh, Cookie. His name's different on GoTV, sorry.
Yeah, they use Face It, their Face It names. And so, but yeah, that's Hadwit is Cookie.
And on the St. Clair side, Zeres is Thrasher.
Yeah, Zeres is Thrasher, yep.
All right, cool.
Everyone else should be true to their own names, but that is round number 17 in the books. 10-7 in favor of Kansas State. Started off a little dicey. They had the beam bomb site and it got to a 3v5, but guns are stronger in the end than the pistols. And so now we'll see a full gun round coming through, as we have seen that's Kansas State has not fully invested on some of these players, as we see Mild is on that MAC-10.
Which Mild likes to use those different types of weapons. So I would consider this a gun round. He didn't upgrade, but I consider it a gun round.
Well, the smokes are coming through. Oh, got blinded at the last second, but able to find the pig and able to find another one. Oh my gosh, they line up 4, and Thrasher's
what
found
patch is
3.
Where are we at? What version of CSGO are we doing? Because that AUG went to town.
And that all of a sudden the round just like that is over. So Thrasher just peeking at once, found a headshot, saw 2 players lined up. They said, here you go, have round number 18 for us. And that's going to be that. So that's going to result in the money not looking so great. Here's the replay of that. And we're going to see these players just perfectly aligned with one another. Thrasher's able to take them both out. The money's now, as we talked about, not looking great on the side of Kansas State. And seems like Miles taking a strategy that you use in Valorant. It's getting good at the guns that are cheap, so he never has broken money.
That is the tactic that I take.
I actually do the same thing. I use the SMGs. They're actually really good.
let's see.
Not good enough in Counter-Strike, let me tell you that. That is 10-9 now on the board. And Kansas State taking their second timeout.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, briefly mentioning Valorant, I'm a big fan of using the Marshall and the Ghost as my combo. And but I also like to be a flashy player, though, too. So be able to make
it's like me in Overwatch. I'm the same way. I like to do cool stuff. I die a lot, though.
Yeah, so it's just the way it goes sometimes, and we've seen Mild, who again, he's currently at 6350, which of course puts him in a completely different realm than all of the rest of his teammates and their economy. So you'll suspect him actually dropping probably a weapon for his teammate, and so we'll see how this one plays out. Bomb has been dropped in spawn, so this is kind of a default setup that we've seen time and time again. We'll see what Kansas State can they do with this default setup, see where they can get those picks.
It's a lot of patience right now. Just listening for footsteps on both sides, it looks like.
You got one player. That's
There's
Pure
some bait
Penguins.
shots down mid.
Yeah, Pure Penguins has made his way through the underpass right now. So he's going to be in a different position. He'll be able to support his teammates. And basically, this is a game of checkpoints right now. So see how far you can get. Once you hit one checkpoint, then the next trigger happens. And so you've got Pure Penguins who made it to this point. It's a great position to be in, and he does take out Zapper.
So unfortunate for his teammate. They have Scherze watching Connector and just had his back turned at the worst moment. Is now Thrasher and Scherze getting taken down from here Connector, but Cookie's got himself in a great position to make this a little uncomfortable, but Pure Penguins had enough of that. Takes him out of the round, and this surely should be, and it is round number 11 on the board for Kansas State, 11-9. As that timeout seemed much needed, refresh their strategies, and they come out swinging.
Yeah, it just comes back to the fact that Pure Penguins was not challenged as he went through underpass, then went into connector. He was just never challenged until the last moment, and then actually his teammate was the one that fallen. And so now that leaves us back to our default setup. You see Mild back over here towards the A-bomb site. Last time we saw him in Palace. This time we see him watching here towards the A ramp. And we've seen some funny situations here, this exact position, John. We've actually seen players just sneak on by underneath, and now you can see Mild is just adjusting for possible pushes and things. I think that's just a tough spot to be in. I don't necessarily agree with if that's his purpose is to worry about flanks. He's watching from the wrong position.
Oh, and here comes the push over onto B site with Knack by himself with the M4, just trying to make some noise. I think the rotate to A. Looks like Penguin's going to push out with the AK onto A site here. Ooh, man, taking out Thrasher there. There's the smoke. Scherze taking out Devil there. It's a lot of... Oh, the FAMAS again. This is the second time I've seen the FAMAS, like, hitting headshots. I can't do that with the FAMAS. Every time it's in my hands, it's horrible.
Yeah, we had a conversation about that earlier, about what John said. John, you want to repeat it one more time?
Yeah, the FAMAS is, well, let me see how this round shakes up, as
Yep.
Penguins is about to get himself a nice little clutch, but once again, Corey, we don't know what patch we're on, as that AUG is doing lots of damage. Just kidding, we know we're on the most current patch, but that AUG is doing the work here for Sinclair. It's 11-10. So the joke we made earlier is the FAMAS is like a 50-50. It's between like, oh my gosh, this is the best gun in the game, and you're shooting like silver bullets, or other times you're just shooting noise. So it really feels like you just completely miss all of your shots, and it's like, wow, I can't believe this gun is even purchasable. So I'm right there with you. I absolutely
I think
love
I've used it
using
maybe twice. Maybe twice. My entire... And both times I was like, why did I buy that?
I absolutely love it and hate it all at the same time. And let me tell you, it's no FAMAS that compares to the one in Call of Duty. I'll tell you that, but completely different game as this one.
3-round burst to the chest and you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice spray transfer coming in from Zapper. Oh, but he gets taken up from behind by Penguin there. Here comes the smoke into jungle. Con pushing in from connector behind Penguin here.
Wow. Oh, I was about to say, the fact that he stayed that alive for that long was crazy. But the bomb has not been picked up until just now by Rob, and 2 players already rotated. This is down to a 2-on-2. But as we take a look, we can actually see that Knack is rotating. He's getting a good angle. And so right now you can probably anticipate Rob waiting for Knack to do something here. And so Knack has almost cleared out the B-bomb site. The 2 players, though, are from St. Clair College, are actually in connector. And they're holding down the A-bomb site going, wait a minute, did they get by us? I don't know. As we can see right now, we've got one player. That's Knack. Let's go and take a look and see what he's got, because he's actually putting himself into danger now. As he's probably going to get himself in a better angle. If he can get up into ladder room and be able to hold that down, and no, he's going to go ahead and get joined up back with his teammate inside of the bomb site. But, man, if he would able to get to, oh, look at this. They're already setting it over here towards the catwalk. He's going to hear this. And right there, right around the corner is going to be one, and there's his second, 12-10, all because they decided to run directly to him.
What would you do in that scenario? If you had 2 people on the enemy team that got past you and your buddy, and they plan on the other site, and you have to get to B. What's your angle of approach there? Are you going to go the same angle with your guy, or are you going to try and take separate angles?
Yeah, you probably that type of position, I'd probably take separate angles, because both of them coming from catwalk would not necessarily be beneficial. So here we have it. They're going to already be pushing here towards the B bomb site, and Pure Penguins and Mild, they've got Mac 10s coming out. As even though they've been winning rounds, you can see that they've decided to go ahead and utilize these Mac 10s. And oh no, that's the rough stuff. As Thrasher was the one that got the kill, and he had a teammate that was just not happy with it. Yeah, how dare you get that kill?
I wanted that one.
That was mine.
I've got the SMG. I needed that extra $300.
Yep. So there you go, 13-10. But going back to that round, I mean, if it was my choice, I would have probably spread out the players. More importantly, just because catwalk is just a tough choke point. If you draw one fire, but here, look at it again. We've now got St. Clair. They hear all of those footsteps, and Pure Penguins is one of those ones that you want to be able to leverage. And Mild now is here on the flank. He just needs to be able to hold this angle. This is going to be a perfect timing, and there he is. And also, Knack was there in T-spawn, and Knack. Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Quick cue back to the AK.
I'm also laughing because these teams just don't want you to finish your story. Or
so,
your reasoning.
So as it began, as on my prelude, I'll go and talk about that for a little bit. This has been crazy.
Do you remember what round you're supposed to be talking about? The question you're supposed to be answering?
Like probably 2
it was
maps.
Like last week, right?
Yeah, it was like 2 maps ago.
Excuse me, Professor. Will this question be on the exam?
No, it will not. No, it will not.
We got the default split again here. 3 going B, 2 A. Oh, we do have Scherze sneaking up through mid behind them, though. Oh, and never mind. He gets taken out by Devil. Just a lot of slow play right now from the T side. Oh, here comes the push. Looks like they're going to be going over to A. Zapper getting taken out by Penguin there. Look at this mid control. Here comes the push on. We have 2 CTs left on A site. Looks like they're actually going to rotate back to B. Already on the site here, going for the plant. Oh, Mild with the kill on Con there with the AK. Holding a good angle. There goes the molly. Now we're down to another 4v2 scenario here, where the utils are being used to keep the CTs back. St. Clair trying to figure out what angle they're gonna be able to push, but Devil lurking takes out Thrasher there, and it's all down to Cookie. Last guy alive, just sitting in connector with the AK. Oh, and tries to get the spinning flick on Devil there, but Devil just pops him with the headshot.
Wow.
That's a rough.
As we're now sitting at game point for Kansas State here. St. Clair, they look like they were going to make this game be a tough one for Kansas State. But looks like after, I think it was the second or third timeout coming in for Kansas State, we've seen a different look. So it was the second one as John gives me the peace sign. Oh, it's 2. That's what you're giving me. Okay, got it. So just playing. You know that was a dad joke.
Oh, man, Corey, you've had some better jokes in your time.
Hey!
Oh, no! We've got the soundboard
Oh, no,
coming
I'm not
in.
ready for it. I'm getting
I don't want to
teamed
make
up
any
against.
jokes anymore. He might have the booze in there.
Yeah, exactly. A little kazoo action. All right, so Kansas State, they're knocking at the door, and we'll see. They've made their way here towards the site, and peeking out is going to be Zapper. But Pure Penguins hasn't pushed all the way through. And so now it's left up to Con and Scherze. And as I say that, it is only left up to Con. 1-on-3. He is St. Clair's last hope to be able to keep them in the upper bracket part of our double elimination playoff bracket. And
He's using that coin flip gun too.
yeah, we'll see. Are we going to hear some sound, or are we going to see some silver bullets? We'll find out. And I think this game is already over unless he can find. He can't even get into the window. And that's going to do it. As Knack was right there with him, but Devil gets the kill. And there you have it. 16-10 goes to Kansas State. Man, what a good game. Watching again, I think it was really good for me is to see the adaptation from Kansas State, where it looked like they weren't playing as well as they should be playing. St. Clair College came out to really devastate, and they had a really good first half. But Kansas State, they came to life. A-Trek, what do you end up thinking that actually came from that game?
I don't know. At first, like I said, it was a back and forth, but then I think after that first timeout was the tipping point for them. I don't know what they talked about or what they said or what happened there, but I don't know. One of the I think it was Cookie was nodding, like in game he was nodding, and then from that point forward it was a completely different game. They were all over it. They just keeping control of the sites, and when they were on the T side, they were faking rotates like over and over and over again. So you saw every single time they were getting onto a site, it was empty. There was no one there. Everybody was on the other site. It was definitely playing 2 steps ahead of the game, I think, there.
Yeah, they definitely made an adjustment there. Let's go ahead and take a look. One of the key players from that game. We love talking to him as well. We won't talk to him this time. But Kansas State, Pure Penguins, he ends up with a KDA of 34, 17, and 6. So 34 kills in the game, and a huge shout-out to the production team for going the extra mile and getting us an ADR. So he gets 133 ADR through an entire game. So seeing him really coming out in dominant force for Kansas State. John, what are some notes that you can take away from that? As we're currently 45 minutes behind schedule, but that's not our fault. That's everywhere else around us.
Perfect. I'll start from page number 1 then. So as we saw St. Clair, no, I'm just kidding.
Well,
so
that's not fair. You're able to tell a story, and I get interrupted by rounds.
Hey, Corey, that's how sometimes the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
But as I was going to say, Penguin played another lights-out game, just as we'd expect from him. We were talking about it. We were hyping him up. Knack didn't quite come to fruition, but Cookie 34 and 17. Once again, that's one of those maps.
Pure Penguins, but yes.
Pure Penguins, yes, that's correct. And so that's one of those things that it seems like just St. Clair has a bad time against on Mirage. The first time they played against Mirage, against Texas A&M, they went against the likes of Com, who got 42-something kills, and now they go against Pure Penguins, who gets 34 on them. So a stand-up performance, and they were playing with so much confidence on that T side. It almost seems like they're more comfortable having that weaponry in their hands. As we saw, their AK shots were far cleaner than those of the M4. I'm just under the impression that they like to be the aggressors, because when we saw when they were aggressive, when they went towards Palace, they won the rounds where it's like, you're going to play our game. And so whenever they get the opportunity to then change the dynamic in the tempo of the rounds, I think that's where they feel comfortable, and that's exactly what we saw. Yeah,
absolutely. Whenever they were on the T side, they changed up the gameplay. So there is our 7th match of today. We've got one more upper bracket round 1 coming your way. That's Rochester Institute of Technology versus University of Alabama Huntsville. That's coming up next. We'll figure out how that one shapes up right here from Esports Stadium Arlington. We'll be back.